Yo, what's good, people? Live and large. King of the Pit TV, the Lemon Twigs. We listened to every... What was the record we heard last? Everything Harmony or something along the lines of that, right? But it was a great record. I really enjoyed the approach the band had and the soundscape, like the production value and how it aligned with this overall 70s, this authentic sounding 70s sound. So with this, we've got sorry, this is the first time I've spoken throughout the entire day, so allow me to ease myself into communicating with some degree of efficiency. This is A Dream Is All We Know. We've got a substantial amount of material on here, 16 tracks, so let me just see, we've got music videos on the end. So My Golden Years, they don't know how to fall. So I'm just having a look if it wasn't just like a rehash of what we've already had prior in the record. I don't think so. They've put all of their music videos at the end. Can you believe it? That's quite bizarre. 4 different music videos to finish off the record. Fascinating. I'm not going to waste your time. This entire listen through goes out to my friend Dope19, who recommended this on the Patreon. Don't thank me, thank them. My Golden Years is track number 1. Let's jump in, shall we? Hope everybody's blessed. What's good, people? What a guan? 1 year ago, 2024. Great harmonies, huh? Once again, we got the same reoccurrence of what we saw on the initial record. The comment section is less so about the band and more so about the bands the act sounds like. So they've tapped into like this collective conscious of 60s and 70s music, but in doing so, they've become one with, but not become independent of. So we've got Beach Boys, Brian Wilson, of course, the movies, the Beatles, Big Star, the Raspberries, which is a great... I like that name of the band. Someone referencing 2 random tunes there. And between you and me, there's something suspicious with this tune getting 163,000 views and there only being 31 comments. There is something questionable about that. I wonder why. Little tambo kicking off. Come on. A great, upbeat, bright, open sounding, fresh number. Lovely sound. Very pleasing to my ears. Very enjoyable. We've got plenty of space on this album for them to delve into the polar opposite, which is what they did on the last record. I didn't feel that this band excelled when it came to the whole negative "my life sucks" thing. I want to sort of stray away from that on this record a little bit more. This upbeat, joyful, energetic bliss is really where this band excels. Honestly, really. We've got They Don't Know How to Fall in Place, track 2, coming up next. Yes, now bless now people. King of the Pit TV, moving onwards to Lemon Twigs with the record A Dream Is All We Know. Track number 2 on this record, out of 16 numbers, is They Don't Know How to Fall in Place. We're going to continue on through this record. Shall we click play? I think we should.
Why do my dreams, they always wake me up? I can't get a night of sleep that isn't purple, yellow, green. Every day is like a memory of someone I knew 1,000 years ago I've never heard or seen. So how can I play this game? But nothing's gonna help the same. If I lose or win, I don't know how to fall in place.
Even when it comes to the album cover, people are making statements saying it gives me a Sparks Pretenders Red Cross vibes. The people just love sort of. I would argue that, you know, it is in a respectful manner, but I would say that the fan base dulls the Lemon Twigs shine by sort of implying that they are but in the shadow of giants here. They are but in the grand footstep of what came prior to them. And so, albeit associating with them in a positive manner, implying they're never gonna fill those boots, you know? So it's an interesting dynamic this band has sort of conjured here with the market.
I was a boy and all I wanted was, I don't know, just someone to mess around with. She was a girl who painted pictures of objects of no particular relevance. And I didn't have a clue of what I was getting into. Was a go-between.
Not a bad number. A healthy dollop of bass guitar in that one. Errings ever so slightly, just in the most minute means towards a Motown foundation with the essence of that bass guitar and the on the drums, you know, the strict power upon the beat. I don't know what you call that, but it reminds me of like the dun, da, 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 you know, the whole Motown movement. Not the movement culturally speaking, but within the music, the four tops and whatnot. Of course, melodically speaking, and you know, that which was built upon that foundation was not alike the Motown experience. It was an alright tune. It wasn't good as My Golden Years. Church Bells is track number 3. King of the Pit TV, the Lemon Twigs. A Dream Is All We Know is the title of this record. Track 3 of 16 is entitled Church Bells. It's a brief one at 2 minutes 6. Let's find out what they've got in store for us. Shout out to Justin Hawkins, who's bringing people here. Justin Hawkins is that fella from the Darkness, innit? We listened to The Darkness on this channel actually for the first time, or at least the album for the first time. There's some great numbers on there. I've heard stories that he was a pain to work with back in the day, and that's what hindered the success of The Darkness. I don't know whether that was rooted in truth or not. It's just what I've heard. You know, he was a bit of a rock star in his own right, you know. It reminds me of flipping Russell Brand. The same essence, you know. I don't watch his material, but I like his music. Good morning, Vietnam says, this song is in the key of E flat. D natural contrasts so nicely to this melody. Doesn't matter. Scales don't matter, bro. They never did. Just play what you want. Doesn't matter. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Yeah, not a bad little number. It's good how they add these little jingles in here, because it's very easy to just write a song and pump out songs and compose songs in their entirety, get them produced and have, you know, a relatively consistent instrumental from start to finish that includes some form of complexity. But when you actually add the little ad-libs and the little tiny gestures and stay in the studio, out of your way, you know, paying studio time to add these extra little elements of maybe, you know, going out of your way to record little instruments or adding little samples, which takes way longer than the effect it has on the record. It's a great attention to detail and something a lot of bands don't go forth and do. Yeah, yeah, very good, very good. Church Bells was the title of that one. Nice little short ditty, little love song for you. A Dream Is All I Know is the title of the next one. Let's go on. Yes, now bless now people, let's not get too excited. We're listening to the Lemon Twiglets today with their album A Dream Is All We Know, alright? This song is entitled Dream Is All I Know. Okay, a little bit more self-centered, a little less empathic, and a little more narcissistic. What more do I need to say? This entire list for goes out to Top 19 who recommended this album on the Patreon. The almighty I is in full effect. Let's go.
A dream is all I know, is all I've got to show for my being here.
Come on.
It's all so clear, as much as I have to fear. There's nothing really mine, just borrowed time. In the morning when you wake up, living straight down the line. Why are you here? In vain you cry out, and no one seems to hear. The dream is all I know, is all I've got to show for my being.
Little grit to that guitar, eh?
It's all so clear, as much as I have to fear. There's nothing really mine, just borrowed time. And I have
Lovely little guitar lines. Little bit of growl to that guitar for a change. We've had very clean guitars up until this point.
had the chance to get things right, girl. Love isn't something you know. The more you choose it, you're bound to lose it. Leaving it left.
I'm going to be quite critical here. Down to because somebody referenced the album artwork, says one of the greatest album covers in human history, says Secret Jazz. Fair enough. That's your personal opinion. All art is subjective, of course. But even when it comes down to the imagery, the haircuts, the cameras, if not the effects that are used, the filters that are used for the shooting of the imagery, do you not think it becomes ever so tiresome having to sort of keep up an act that you are of a different era? Do you know where I'm coming from? I believe art, as art progresses and art develops, enters a more comfortable, if not paradoxically uncomfortable state of honesty. An artist will formulate a character, and then as the years go by, given the artist continues to express, starts to feel more comfortable in expressing the self and looks deeper into oneself to express oneself to the outside world, alright? And in expressing genuine human feelings and emotion, garners a broader market, garners a better connection, because the people out there feel that which is human as opposed to that which is mechanical and formulaic and meaningless. Do these dudes just sort of like put a mask on? Because they live in 2025. So the whole sort of just like, oh, we're shooting a new music video. Oh shit, we need to dress like this. We need to use this sort of camera. Oh, what if the people around us don't dress like this? We're going to stand out and just look a bit odd. We're not going to be part of the in-group, you know? I'm not casting any form of shade here. I do like the band. I do like their aesthetic, honestly. If you look all the way back to the start of this record, look at the haircut I had. I had a rock and roll Barnett, I'll tell you that. I had a flipping Rod Stewart Barnett. Don't get it twisted. But, you know, that's it. I'm very familiar. All I'm saying is, 10 years down the line, have we still got to continue pretending that we are of a particular era? Do you know, going out of our way? Music is a great homage, but to personify it in its entirety is like, good little number, quite a powerhouse of a number. Get the tempo up a bit. If we took that number and we upped the tempo by about 15 BPM, we'd be in the space where this band really strives. Airy fairy little number, nice little living in a bubble number. We got Sweet Vibration coming up next. King of the Pit TV, the Lemon Twigs. A dream is all we know. This was put out when? 2024, so it's a very modern record. This one's entitled Sweet Vibration. It's track 5 of 16 on this album. Listen through. Let's go. A great talent there on the keys, eh?
Sweet vibration traveling through my nerves. Tell me something much more than words. Breathe that lovely aroma. Hear the sound of birds. Wild in winter, honey that tastes so sweet. Feed the locusts that line the street. See the children walk home. Their lives far from complete. Casting out the demon in me. You are gone, I am free. I rely on nobody. Miracles all I see.
Come on.
Endless ocean swallowing up my fear. Now my destiny seems so clear. 'Neath the green ocean foam that hisses in my ear. Casting out the demon in me. You are gone, I am free. I rely
I'm incredibly silly. There's music videos at the end. I thought they were additional tracks, and I thought it was a bit of a strange happening, but they're not. I think one of them's in a... Oh no, they're not. They're music videos that accompany the music. That adds a bit of a spanner to the works here. Because I would have commented on the music videos. But hey, we're here for the music at the end of the day. And you know what? I would have been quite critical of the videos if they sort of aligned with the generations past aesthetic that we've, you know, that this band is sort of versed on. So yeah, we're just going to listen to the album, man. That actually allows me to focus a little bit more as well, because it means the album's a bit more concentrated. I thought we had 16 tracks on the record, and I thought, geez Louise, we're going to be in for a substantial amount of material. You know, they might spread themselves a bit thin, but 12 tracks is really good. Yeah, good.
Miracles all I see. La 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 la.
A little bit Elton John.
Sweet vibration traveling through my nerves. Tell me something much more than words. Breathe that lovely aroma. Hear the sound of birds. Hear the sound of birds. Hear the sound of birds.
I wonder if it's one of these two who are on the pianos on there, because if so, what a brilliant way on the keys there, eh? Wish I could play the piano like that. Beautiful. That was Sweet Vibration. That was a sweet vibration. Let's continue on. In the Eyes of the Girl is track number 6. Let's go. Yes, now bless now, people. Continuing on with our Lemon Twigs special. We're listening to A Dream Is All We Know, alright? A very recent record that was recommended on the Patreon by Dope19. Thank you very much for the recommendation, my friend. In the Eyes of the Girl is track number 6 of 12. Let's go. You find, at least the song listing, the titles of the songs, there's not as depresso as what they were on the last album, because when we got to the halfway point, suddenly all the songs just started to get quite morbid in title.
In the eyes of the world, I'm too
Lovely.
far gone. In the eyes of but the one that I care for says I make her heart sore. In the eyes of the girl I've won, when she came to me, I felt dejected. When she came
Lovely.
to me, I was numb. I accepted that rightly when she said I might be the one she was dreaming of. And now I'm a lucky guy. I smile as the hours pass by.
Bye, la la la.
I wanna hold you. I long to see you. I love you. In the eyes of the world, I'm far from perfect. To the arms of the girl I run. She's decided she wants me, and I think that maybe she's an angel from up above.
Lovely. Lovely. Ain't that the truth, eh?
I smile as the hours
Goodbye. La, la, la.
I
I love this. One of the best tunes on the record is fantastic harmonies. This is a proper love song. Proper love song. You know what? As somebody who's not well versed in the Beach Boys, maybe I'm missing out on a whole wealth of commentary I should have. Because people are saying this is literally the Beach Boys. That's a bold statement. Literally the Beach Boys? So if the Beach Boys were doing this decades upon decades ago, it goes to show, you know, how capable they were. That was a lovely tune. That was one of the better ones on the record, definitely. I like the bass. Boom, boom, ba-dum. Reminds me of Santa Baby, which is one of my favourite Christmas songs, which is my favourite Christmas song. If You and I Are Not Wise is track number 7 coming up next. King of the Pit TV signing in. The Lemon Twigs, A Dream Is All We Know is the title of the record, released in 2024. We're continuing on. Track 7 of 12 is entitled You or If You and I Are Not Wise. Okay, let's go. We've got a lovely series of shorter songs. They're all relatively short. They're great song lengths for me. For a person like me, perfect. Great twinkling here. Lovely guitar line. Come on. Nice little turnaround. La 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 la. Come on. Na, 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 na. Come on now. That's very Oasis, very Noel Gallagher. I don't know where Noel got it from, but it reminds me of Noel. They're siblings, apparently. Yeah, that was fantastic. Brilliant guitar line. Somebody says Elliott Smith, don't go down for me. We've done plenty of Elliott Smith on this channel. If I'm to be real with you, I do prefer this act to the writing of Elliott Smith. Yeah, I do. Someone says Teenage Fan Club. We heard Teenage Fan Club reference on the last album a lot. I've got a... When I used to perform in London a lot, and as I was going around, somebody said that my works were a little like Teenage Fan Club. A little whimsical in fashion. And I listened to Teenage Fan Club, and there was a couple of tunes I enjoyed, but I didn't really hear what I'm hearing now. in the Lemon Twigs. Maybe I should have explored them a little further. Maybe we should explore them on this channel. That was a great tune. Love the guitar line. Great tones. Great big broken chords. Fantastic. How Can I Love Her More is the title of this next one. Track number 8. Let's go. Yes. How Can I Love Her More? Track number 8 of 12 on the Lemon Twigs album, A Dream Is All We Know. Let's jump in, shall we? Come on now.
My baby works real hard and she comes home late each night. She knows that
It's because she's cheating on you, mate.
I get to crying when she
Don't hate the haircut, mate.
on my side.
Or lack thereof.
I would never say a bad thing about
Don't gas me on the hairline, people.
she found just what she's looking for. She walks right through that door and I say, I knew.
Did you know if someone's making a statement and they metaphorically use the term door, it could be in reference to sexual abuse? I learned that from what one would call a statement analyst who worked for law enforcement, and they would take statements and break it down psychologically, word by word, statement by statement, pronoun by pronoun, to make sense of it. Incredibly fantastic, interesting stuff, but I don't know much more other than that. Someone, I think he's passed now, on sidetrack there, on YouTube there's a guy, he's passed away now, but he used to work for law enforcement, I do believe, and he like broke down Madeleine McCann's statements and stuff like that. Very cool. I'll be with you in 1 second. I just got a text. Yeah, I need to deal with that. Wagwan, I'm back. Quite a spooky synth. It's kind of mad because as someone who isn't a great big fan of the Beach Boys, given I've not really checked them out, everyone's talking about this song is so Beach Boys, actually hearing more Turtles than Beach Boys. Dude, you sound like Brian, Bruce and Al. It's mad because there's a few bands like this. There's Greta Van Fleet who did Led Zeppelin. There's Airborne that did AC/DC and so forth. They're never gonna be the band. They're always going to be in the shadow of greatness, which is good as far as marketing is concerned, as far as having a successful career is concerned, but as far as artistic expression is concerned, there's a perimeter you can reach and you're not going to surpass that. You're never going to be the Beach Boys, you're never going to be Led Zeppelin, you're never going to be Airborne, you're never going to be in the history books, which is bleak. It's bleak in my personal opinion. And I propose a philosophical question of, would you rather have independence and be an independent entity that garners less fame, less success, less material monetary value, yet retain the unique value that aligns to who you genuinely are, you know? Because at what point do the Lemon Twigs fall out of the archetype? When these dudes are 40 years old, 50 years old, are they still going to feel comfortable performing as a caricature of times that have gone by? Or are they going to start to think, you know what, we're very talented, were great songwriters. Should we err away from this whole aesthetic? Do you know? Someone here says ripping off other artists isn't talent. No doubt they're talented band. I'm going to disagree with Mike Davis. I'm going to disagree. Lovely brass section there. Lovely. Great soundscape here. Soundtrack worthy. That was How Can I Love Her More, track number 8 of 12. We're going to continue onwards with Ember Days, track number 9. I'll see you there. Yes, now bless now people. Let's not forget the rest now. King of the Pit TV. We're listening to the Lemon Twigs, or the Twigs, as the fan base called them. This entire listen through goes out to Dope19, who recommended this record on the Patreon. A Dream Is All We Know is the title of the record, whereas the tune is entitled Ember Days. Let's go. How's everybody doing today, eh? Hope everybody's blessed.
Fire, it still glows, the ember holding on the wilting rose. Desire in repose, waking from its lullaby. Breathe the salty air, the wind moving along from here to there. Soon it's everywhere, whistling through a mountainside. Where is the moon for us, those who dwell in these caves in a factory gaze? When is it June for us, those whose permanent place is a dark alleyway?
Someone referencing Simon and Garfunkel for a change.
Past the frozen sea, in the ocean angels hide, remain unseen. Take refuge in between ripples in the waterline. Feed the hungry birds, they're circling, turning slowly into words. Every movement heard, shining like a marquee sign. But where is the moon for us, those who dwell in these caves?
Put some respect on Brian Dario on the guitar and vocals, Daryl Johns on the upright bass, and Andres Valbuna on the drums. Otis Harriel on the violin, Yuri Kai violin, Rachel Martinez on the viola, Doug Machis on the cello, and Paul D. Miller on the flange. So with that being said, we've only got one credit for the vocals. Have they been layered by the one individual, or have we got multiple frontmen per se, you know?
In a factory gaze, when is it June for us, those whose
Who are the two depicted in the album? Somebody referenced that maybe they're brothers, they're related.
dark alleyway?
But there was no family name in the credits. Pardon me.
Where is the moon for us, those who dwell in these caves in a
Nice little number. Quite melancholic of a number. Illustrative, imaginative, lyrical content. We got Peppermint Roses. Lovely title. Coming up next. King of the Pit TV, the Lemon Twigs. A dream is all we know. The 2024 release is what we're listening to today. Track 10 of 12 is entitled Peppermint Roses. Lovely title. Let's go. Someone says, I know comparing the Lemon Twigs to the Beatles and the Beach Boys is a tired trope from their personal perspectives. Well, why can't we compare it if they're taking all of the elements from such bands? Shall we not continue to compare? Shall we treat this act like a completely separate entity that is of complete unique character? I don't know, you tell me. But he goes onto there to say... He goes onwards to say, this is the most Beatles-sounding track they've ever done. Apparently. I can't believe the fear inside my head. Peppermint roses. Hello, pretty red. Lennon and McCartney. Holy Father approaches. And why does it have to be like that? Bring my peppermint roses. And quite indirectly influenced by the Beatles, as somebody references more Revolver than Pepper, referencing Sergeant Pepper, and we've got Pepper in the title, so maybe, yeah, indirectly influenced. I mean, maybe directly influenced, but, you know. The Lemon Twigs are an American rock band from the Hicksville neighborhood of Long Island, New York. The duo consists of brothers Brian and Michael Didario. Both brothers are vocalists, songwriters and multi-instrumentalists. The band's music has been noted for its stylistic roots in the 60s and 70s pop and rock music, ranging from power pop to glam rock, art rock and jangle pop. In a way, it kind of annoys me that all of the fan base is just like, just gonna put it there. Elvis Costello, Oscar, like they're using, like it's a brilliant project, because the people are coming together in a mutual support of a particular sound of a particular era. This band has found their market. Most definitely found their market. But the comment section is sort of outdoing themselves to just sort of talk about other bands, as opposed to... It's like this band is just to allow the market to reminisce of other bands. It's an incredibly unique form we're discussing here in relation to other bands we've discussed on this channel. This band creates discussion of acts they sound alike. They don't create discussion on the Lemon Twigs. It's more so just like, this is a song John Lennon would have written, as opposed to this is a song Mr. Didario wrote. I feel an indirect pang of pain as an artist. But that's my ego needing adulation and support and pedestalization. Whereas if I am to be like water, my friend, I would say, oh, brilliant, I'm being associated with some of the best songwriters that have ever been, as far as like the world's acknowledgement is concerned. Isn't that amazing itself? But indirectly, I do think, oh, I wish that was me. I wish it was my name they were talking about, not the next person's and the next person's. This band is an incredible vehicle of discussion. It's absolutely phenomenal. I think these dudes are aliens. Honestly, I don't think there's a human essence in this band. I think there's an alien form that resides within the foundation of this act. There's something weird going on. There's something weird going on. There's a shape-shifting bizarrity when it comes to this. That was Peppermint Roses. Yeah, it was a nice little number. What a great space for discussion this band provokes. Is that not good art? I think that's good art. Track 11 coming up next. I should have known right from the start. Yes, now bless now. King of the Pit TV, the Lemon Twigs. A dream is all we know. Is the record we're listening to. Track 11 of 12 is entitled I Should Have Known Right from the Start. Should we jump in? Let's go. Enjoying a cup of coffee?
I should have known right from the start you'd somehow get away from me, like height abandons gravity, like time erased it.
What bands do you think are referenced in the comment section? Let's find out, shall we? Because we've now learned that the Lemon Twigs isn't about the Lemon Twigs, it's about the bands they sound like. Clearly inspired by Serge Gainsbourg's blah-de-blah-de-blah. You know what? The people are... I spoke too fast. I'm not going to comment the little minute references. We generally have support for the Lemon Twigs in the comment section. So put some respect on that. This might be one of the more organic numbers.
Eternity, you see. I should have known right from the eyes. Should have known right from the eyes. Should have known right from the start.
Lovely. Come on. Ba-ba-da-ba-da-da.
We should have stayed a world apart, like lovers live in secrecy, like heaven to a priest would be. The flaccid heart preceded me, you see. We should have stayed a world away, should have stayed a world away, should have stayed a world apart. Happy lives come through God's animation. Love is no fun, it's just aggravation. Tell me why I should cry when it goes away. I should have known right from the eyes, should have known right from
Another melancholic number from the Twiggies here.
the eyes, should have known right from
They should put Twiggy on an album cover. She'll fit in, right?
the start.
Some ball knowledge, that Twiggy in 2025.
You should have slain the burning heart, a sign of your naivety, distracted by the scenery, a flaccid heart preceded me, you see. I should have known right from the eyes, should have known right from the eyes, should have known right from the start.
Little bit of a jazzy finale there, a bit of a jazzy cadence. Lovely little twinkle on the pianos. Can't go wrong. Decent little number. Bit melancholic. I like a bit more of an upbeat number when it comes to the Twigs, but not as morbid as what we had on the last record when we're talking about every day's the worst day of my life or something along the lines of that, which is quite comical in nature, but, you know. Rock on over and over is the last track. Let's finish off. We're at the end of the line. At the end of the road. Lemon Twigs, A Dream is all we know. All right. Track 12 of 12 is entitled Rock On Over and Over. This entire listen through has gone out to Dope19, who recommended this record on the Patreon. Let's finish off. A little bit of rock and roll. Come on. T-Rex. Is it my imagination? Slade. Look at this T-Rex. I'll tell you what, I'm not the biggest historian when it comes to the influences of the Lemon Twigs, but I do know a little bit of rock and roll. I do know a bit of rock and roll. Come on. Rock on. This is my cup of tea. This is my sound. This. Brilliant. Nice little number to finish off with. They sort of tickled a little. They tickled it there at the end. How many views did that get? 45. So the least amount of views. So the people aren't looking for the rock and roll. But let's say, for example, it got 100,000 views. Lemon Twigs might think, maybe this is where we need to go. But no. No, the people have spoken. They want them to stick with what we know. The dream. I'm going to finish off with one more video. I'm going to overview this record as a whole. I'll rate it out of 10. And I'll see you there. Peace. Yes, now bless now. King of the pit! Boom! A Dream Is All We Know by the Lemon Twigs is what we listened to. Released very recent. So thank you very much for the recommendation. I do like it when you recommend albums that are relatively modern, because it sort of injects me into the time of today, whereas generally speaking, we just overlook that which has come and gone. All right. So, straying from the historical content, we have a more modern record, whereas the modern record we are listening to is that of a historical document in relation to what it's influenced by. Eh? Recommended on the Patreon by Dope19, One Love Brother. Thank you very much for the recommendation. We listened to the Lemon Twigs a bit back with their album Something Harmony, Everything Harmony, or something along the lines of that. I don't know. It was a fantastic experience, down to the fact that I thought, wow, as if a band can do this. And now we've gone on to a more modern release by them, A Dream Is All We Know. Arguably, in relation to the first record, a little bit better because they rid of the turmoil and the morbid factor that album sort of came across by the midway point, talking about all sorts of morbid content that I felt was contrary to the energy of the band or what they should be putting out there. I don't mind a little bit of melancholy, which we got on this record. You know, I don't mind the polarity. We can't have happiness without sadness, but it felt like we erred a little bit too much into the darkness in the last record, and it just didn't work out. This band, like most bands, in my personal opinion, operate better in a higher frequency, operate in a better up-tempo, operate in a more major tonality. A little bit more of a janglier sound. I do prefer that. But we've got the best of both worlds once again on this record, without erring too far in one direction or the other. Phenomenal instrumentation, great songwriting, great production, great project. Does it differ as far as the development of the music, as far as the showcase of the band's capabilities in relation to the last one? Not necessarily. I think they're both hand in hand. You know, there's not so much a progression per se, other than the choice of the general theme of the record. It's a great space for discussion because the Lemon Twigs create space to discuss a time that has come and gone. The market of this band, yeah, you know, you can be a modern fan of the band, but you know that you're giving a nod to the 60s and the 70s when you listen to this band, and it's definitely what the band has manufactured in their artistry, from the music to the aesthetic to the so on and so forth to the production, blah 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 blah. The artist in me screams out because of this, screams in boundaries and restrictions and a feeling of claustrophobia. Because to be an artist, to be a free thinker, to be a creative, and yet understand that your project is based upon a replication of something else that has been done before, makes me feel a bit uncomfortable. Everything's been done before, don't get me wrong, and having influence is having influence, but to be that which once has been means you will never surpass that which once has been. So you've set your ceiling, yeah, you've already got a preordained market there waiting for you, but it just it's there's a limitation to the creativity. It's been done before. I'm going to rate this record 0.25 higher than what I rated the last one, because although we still are operating in the same fashion, overall the album was a little more palatable to me because they rid of the overt morbidity that they sort of touched upon in the last record. It's a great record, it's a great product, it's great sounding, it's great instrumentally, it's great writing. It really is a good project. They really are a good band. But there is a limitation. There is a limitation. They will never surpass that which they are replicating, and it becomes problematic. Greta Van Fleet are not Led Zeppelin. Airborne are not AC/DC. Never will be. Always stand in the shadow of such. And indirectly, no matter how good and how much money is invested into the product, they could arguably always be perceived as an indirect cover band. Is that not bleak? On that note, I'm signing out. Peace, one love, people. Goodbye.